what's going on? It's the end of E3 2010, day 2. We're back here at the Bomb House. We had a full day at the show today, gentlemen.
The fullest of full days.
I started off my day first thing. Got to see a fresh demo for Shank, the clay game, crazy style, crazy action. Got to see the shotgun for the first time. I missed the shotgun. We're gonna go back and get the shotgun.
So you can see how the shotgun feels a lot different than your other guns.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a slow rate of fire, but it seems like it kicks like a mule. So.
And it's got limited range though, so it does have its drawbacks. Nice. Yeah.
Live demo, folks.
Busted shot. It's a busted shot. It's a busted shot. Start this over.
There's all of E3 right there on that dude. E3. I then scooted over to the Harmonix with the MTV
Yeah, I
Games
turned
booth.
around and there you were.
Yeah, I knew that
Even
you were going to be there.
I expressly uninvited you from this appointment.
Yeah, but then Harmonix's Eric Pope re-invited me and then put you on probation, fool. We got to see Rock Band 3 and all the pro mode stuff with the crazy guitars.
Yes, the guitars are crazy. I'd seen the Mad Catz guitar before, which is the one that has the buttons.
So like a million buttons on it, like a button for each fret for each string position.
Yeah, but they also had the Fender guitar there, which is a real actual guitar that you can use to play the game.
Yeah, it's a MIDI control guitar too, so you can like hook it up to a computer.
Computer?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's a full-on guitar, and it works as a controller as well. We didn't actually get to play with that, but some of the folks from Harmonix put on a little show for us, played some Power of Love. Pro mode on the guitar and pro mode on the keys.
Yeah, and I played some pro mode guitar on easy, and on easy it was easy. You know,
Yeah,
it's stuff like you're really only hitting like kind of one note, so it'll show you the thing in the circle and the number in it, so it'll tell you which fret you got to hit. And when solo time came, it was a little
rough.
Yeah, it's like 9th fret, like what? And then I played the little pro keys after that. Like on easy, it's still easy. Like it's definitely like learning it all over again, but they make it very manageable. And I think that's pretty key because no one's just going to pick up that guitar and set it to expert and go,
right?
Or I don't know, crazy people.
Don't try. That stuff is like on expert. It is the full like chords. It is every note that they would actually play in the song. So if you can play that game on expert, you can play that song on guitar straight up.
Yeah, which is freaky. So also, they are going to have pro bass.
Yes.
Last time I saw the game a couple of weeks ago, it didn't have that in it, and they didn't really say anything about it. But you can use those guitars just with 4 strings.
Right.
Although I guess actually there are some bass, 5-string, 6-string bass. They have that in mind.
Oh, wow.
So I guess they're gonna have that in there, but they are writing pro bass parts. You'll just kind of use 4 strings primarily.
A lot of Korn songs.
Yeah, a whole lot of Korn. Yeah, you'll have to like tune it down, drop D and everything.
So then after that, we hopped over to another room at the MTV Games booth and saw Dance Central.
Yes.
Experienced Dance Central.
Yeah, so I had played Dance Central before. I was excited that someone else here was going to play it, just so I could have someone to talk about with it.
So I was, super nervous and not sure how it was going to go when I first stepped up, and they put on Lady Gaga's Poker Face, which good song. That definitely warmed me up some to it. The song selection. But then I got into it, and that was also my first Kinect experience, and it works. It works, and it's fun, and like. That game is a game. Get a bird.
Get a bird.
Get a bird. Get a bird. But it's really intuitive. Like it's the little kind of icons for your next dance move as they come up.
They're like flashcards almost.
It's good because you don't necessarily know what the move is going to be, but you at least know, okay, this is going to be the initial movement I'm going to make, and so you can just kind of figure it out. And it was really intuitive.
I was filming the guys in Little Bubbles by the Microsoft booth.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the game, everybody was having a good time until the freestyle mode came up. And then everybody would start doing.
Skittles, that's enough, please.
But it was neat because you do the little freestyle section, and then like right before it kicks back, it shows you like a super sped up, like kind of chopped up version of your moves. So you just see this
like it's just photos like of it. So
it's just like this crazy little montage of look at all the crazy shit you just did. And
I look like an ass.
I was filming one guy who was doing his little thing, right, and then it showed him the photos. He just went like this and sat down.
Bye, Skittles. I love you.
Get a bird. Well, if you want to see people looking like assholes, after that we had one of the choreographers for the game.
Yeah.
She was there kind of demoing the game, so she played the Fatboy Slim remix of Body Movin' and on Expert, and we acted as her backup dancers.
Backup posse. We stood behind her.
And so we had to try and keep up on this song on Expert.
This video of it, you should really just watch.
Hey, check this out.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Brad, how did you start the day?
I went to see Spec Ops: The Line.
How's that looking, man?
That looks pretty brutal.
Yeah?
Yeah, as you'd expect from a game produced by one Gregory Kasavin.
Yeah, how is Greg?
He's doing well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Glad to hear.
We got an interview with him.
Yeah, we interviewed him. He said
Yeah.
some stuff about his game. How's the show treating you so far?
It's treating me pretty great so far. I've been, even though I've been stuck in here this entire time, demoing Spec Ops: The Line to people, but it's been great. I think 2K is pretty well known for like having games with like a very specific and like inspired atmosphere, and that's what they're trying to bring to the table with this game. So it's cool to see people's reaction. People come out of there, feeling relatively shell-shocked and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're going for. The fact that the new Mortal Kombat game looks like a throwback to Mortal Kombat 2 looks really. I love that game.
You can't see me, my time is now.
That is a gnarly game. There is some vicious stuff that happens in there.
Speaking of Dance Central, Kid from Kid and Play does a voice in Spec Ops: The Line.
I'm out here.
So after that, I headed over to the Ubisoft booth. I got to interview Stuart White from Ubisoft, who's working on Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Hey, Future Soldier, looking pretty good.
Yeah, glad you like it.
Giant Bomb's Jeff Gerstmann had mentioned from the demo that was being shown earlier. You see at one point one of your teammates with the active camo on, he's kind of like gesturing you forward. Dude, I can't see you. You're invisible. Stop trying to wave me forward. I don't make games. I don't know, but maybe something you consider as far as some sort of UI solution for that.
It's a very good idea. We'll put that into the game right away.
Hey, what's going on? We are deep within the bowels of the Microsoft booth here on the show floor at E3 2010. I've just spent the last hour and a half deep in here seeing a bunch of awesome games. We started off, got to go see Peter Molyneux show us a bunch of Fable 3, got to see it actually in action. He told us a lot about just the structure of the game, some pretty exciting stuff, and also the connectivity with Fable 2, which was the one question that I had that hadn't really been answered yet, and yes, there will be a connection between the two, which is super awesome. After that, Clifford Blazinski from Epic showed us a little bit of, he showed the same demo of Gears of War 3 that they showed at the Microsoft press conference, but gave us a little more context and just kind of talked a little bit about the philosophy behind the changes that are happening to various characters, and talked a little bit more about the Beast mode, which he had alluded to at the press conference, which sounds really awesome. Some kind of class-based locust madness. I can't even describe it, but it sounds really cool. And lastly, a couple of the guys from Bungie showed us some of Halo Reach. Got to see an extended version of kind of the space combat section that we saw during the press conference, and talked to us a little more about, how do you make a game about the fall of Reach that isn't a complete bummer. Having a lot of fun here, but it's time to move. We got more stuff to see. E3 210 stops for no man. Then what were you up to at this point?
Well, I had a little bit of time, so I did a little walking around and found myself over in the Square booth where I checked out Space Invaders Infinity Gene for Xbox Live Arcade. This game originally came out on the iPhone. Right. And it's basically kind of like their updated crazy, we're going to make a weird Space Invaders game with, line art Space Invaders and all the stuff you like about Space Invaders, but made crazy.
Okay,
so
I like
a lot
crazy.
of perspective switching.
Okay,
and
so crazy different than Space Invaders Extreme.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not at all like Space Invaders Extreme, in fact.
Okay.
You can move up
Oh, what?
if you want.
They've changed the game.
Yeah.
They've changed the game.
Yeah, so-
Then what else?
Mind Jack.
What? What is that?
Mind Jack. You jack minds
Yeah.
to take control of them.
Great.
Because you're a mind jacker.
Okay.
It's a third-person shooter with a cover system.
Great. Moving on.
No, it's the whole thing. It does this does a weird essence thing where when you go down, your spirit comes out and you can warp to another body and jump into it. I wasn't really clear what was going on. It was a multiplayer game, 2-on-2, and they started to kind of explain it. But it seems like there's a bunch of AI guys around there as well, and you can kill them. And if you get close to them, you can mind jack them, which turns them into mind slaves.
No.
So they stand up and start fighting your enemies.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like you're kind of like jacking them over to your side.
Right.
I think. It was kind of hard to wrap your mind. I played like 4 or 5 rounds, and I was like, well, when the reticle turns red, I'm shooting these guys. But
And then you saw Def Jam Rapstar.
yes.
Y'all understand what Jesus G. Yo, G, just let me know where the Boston party at. Me and Nick there.
Yeah.
That was a wild demo. So this was basically half an hour before Redman and Method Man were scheduled to perform on Konami's Def Jam Rapstar stage, which
Right.
we filmed some of that as well.
I mean, people at the party with red and left tonight. Make some noise out there. Everybody just go! Throw your arms on the phone in the chair. I got jet skis that ride over there. 60 young fucking got fire in my hands when I was fucking. Rock said.
And Redman and Method Man were in the demo room that we were in. It was not a very large room.
Yeah.
So
That's the performance part of the game. After you finish performing your song.
No, they said there was a little kid next door. Hey, anybody see my Adam BC hat around there? Was a little ski hat? I know, I went in there. I didn't see it.
So after you finish performing,
So they were in there. Seemed like they had some of their dudes in there.
Right.
Seemed like there were some people in there just kind of filming them. And then there's some people just kind of hanging out. And Jamie King from 4mm Games was there. And then it was like me and Will Tuttle.
yeah, I get around. Nice. Round and round, round we go. I get around.
They showed off a lot of the social aspect of the game. There's the whole web interface that they're building where you're going to be able to like battle people. And it'll, take your video clips from the game and upload them. They showed the video editor. You can stamp fat dogs on everything if you want. Fat pit bull. It's like, I just need a pit bull right here, and I want that pit bull to be red. Rap. Yeah. Will had been talking a lot of trash about maybe he and I would have a rap off. But,
Nothing.
I think I could take
Nothing doing Will Tuttle.
I think I could take him. No, I'm not saying Will Tuttle was poor or bad, but I think I could take him.
Now, I pretty much wrapped up my day going back to Microsoft and going through pretty much their full Kinect lineup that they're showing there. It's like 5 games. Kinect Adventures, Kinect Sports, Kinectimals, Kinect Joyride, and I can't remember the name of the Ubisoft fitness game.
Your shape.
Your Shape, Fitness Evolved.
Fitness Evolved.
Yeah. I'll say after playing Dance Central, those felt maybe a little more proof of concept than full-on games necessarily.
Yeah.
And I didn't get necessarily the same level of smoothness with the experience. But I thought, I don't know, Kinect Adventures seemed kind of cool, and oddly, out of all of them, Kinectimals was the most physically exhausting because they have this like agility course that you can make your jungle cat run on, and you have to do all of the stuff to make him go. So you have to sprint in place to make him run, and then you have to jump and stop and duck down to crawl underneath things, and very, very active games for sure. Now, you guys got to do a full, Brad and Jeff, you guys got to do a full Sony booth tour.
Yeah, so we went to the upstairs area in Sony and
Catwalk.
the catwalk,
Yeah.
and played a bunch of games. I played The Fight.
Yeah, you did.
Which is,
what do you think of that? I played it at GDC, and it was not all the way there, I don't think.
It's still not there. I was playing it in 3D, so I was wearing the glasses and holding 2 move wands. And you're hitting guys. And kind of the neat thing about it is it's not just detecting you throwing punches, it's detecting where you're throwing them. So if you're throwing bad punches, you don't hit the guy.
Okay, but it's not.
That took a little getting used to.
It's not 1-to-1 anywhere you swing,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
No, it is not. I mean, the movement seems to take place a little bit after you throw it, and also the game was having some trouble kind of staying calibrated and stuff. It's the the wall behind me was very reflective, and they said that might have something to do with it. So give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that'll come along eventually. And there's some neat stuff where, like, if you throw kind of a hook while hitting the move button and the trigger, you'll actually get the guy in a headlock, and then you take the other one and just and that was really satisfying. Like uppercuts and hooks, and it was definitely neat. It seems like the sort of thing that if they can polish it up and get it working, it could be like a cool proof of concept for that stuff.
Sure. I played Twisted Metal.
How was that?
You drive around, you shoot cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a car. I mean, they. They're making a car combat.
They had it broken out into factions, kind of like from the press conference.
Gangs,
so it's like Sweet Tooth Gang.
Yeah.
So like everybody is an angry clown on your team and that kind of thing. But I mean, it definitely played like Twisted Metal, like the loosest driving mechanics you could possibly imagine.
Were there any like D-pad combos for shooting ice or any of the other? Like that was always the.
There were energy weapons on the D-pad, and I forgot to use them. I didn't have very long to play.
Okay.
I just kind of jumped in real quick, drove around, shot some guys, flew in the helicopter.
Right.
I was driving a little kind of Ecto-1 looking ambulance, and the special move for that thing is like strapping explosives on the patient in the back on the gurney.
Oh wow!
Just like shoving the gurney out at a car, and
cool.
Definitely Twisted Metal style humor. But
we both played Gran Turismo 5.
Yeah.
But in 2 ways, they had it with 3D.
Yeah.
They both were in cockpits. So they had the wheel and the
expensive rigs.
Yeah, definitely expensive. Yes.
Setups. Yeah.
And they had it in 3D, and they also had it with a camera that was for head tracking. So you turn your head and you get to look around the cockpit.
That didn't work so well for me. I had
neither.
A real hard time.
Yeah, like you looked like you were going off the road, and I was like, oh. That's why I've never seen Brad drive a car.
Yeah, right.
And then as soon as I got in it, I was like, oh God, why am I looking out the window?
Yeah, that was the thing.
I ended up having to hold my head like a weird way. It just wasn't calibrating.
Yeah.
They said it's supposed to calibrate off the shine of your eyes, like
really?
the reflection of your eyes.
Maybe again the lighting was a problem.
Yeah,
like I was having it like it would look to the right when I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I did that, it wouldn't. You know, it was very disorienting. Driving games. I played MotorStorm Apocalypse.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, you drive through a city and it's getting destroyed.
Okay, that was in 3D, wasn't it?
That's all I can tell you. Yeah, it was. Actually, probably the most interesting part of that demo was that I talked to the guy candidly about developing in 3D.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was just like, are you rendering the scene twice? Is it cutting into your performance? And he was just like, yes. That happens. But actually, their interesting trick is that they are now developing in 2D to 1080p. And basically, according to their performance analysis or whatever, like if we can get it playable in 1080p in 2D, can drop it down to 720p and do it twice for 3D, and it'll still run.
Are they then going to leave the 1080p in 2D in the game, or do they just cut it out and make it 720 across the board?
Should have asked about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That'll be.
Yeah, I don't know if there was no PR around. I don't know if he was supposed to be telling me that stuff. I hope I don't get him in trouble. But yeah, I mean that game seems cool. I was in like a race car. It's not all dune buggies or whatever it used to be in that series. And you're in the city that's like getting destroyed by earthquakes and natural disasters and stuff. And there's like some kind of militarized force in there trying to keep order or evacuate people or whatever. And
you're trying to race.
But you want to be like you are so extreme that you have to race through the city. So they're always like shooting at you as you drive by and crazy stuff like that.
Awesome.
And actually, there's a pretty funny ragdoll system where most of the time when you hit a guy, he will like grab onto some point on the car and
drag him around for a
flail
while.
around, like hanging from your car as you drive. So that was pretty funny. Did you get to see the Heavy Rain stuff?
No, I never got to see it. They were showing the
they had Heavy Rain
move
with the move, yeah.
But we didn't get to see it.
Okay.
All right.
But you and I went to go see Deus Ex.
Yeah, Deus Ex Human Revolution from there is where we went.
Yeah, we did an interview with that, and they had the HUD turned off, and that was kind of weird during the demo.
I don't know what they hope to gain by disabling the HUD in that demo.
There was a lot of like contextual stuff that seemed weird. When you watch somebody do it with like no prompts, it seems really weird because it's like, oh man, I don't even know how you're doing all this stuff. You're like pushing your hand through walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it seems like a fairly complex game. It seems like a Deus Ex game. It's got all the
Will not be disappointed, I think.
I hope not. That's. You're playing with fire right now.
Okay.
That is an excitable fan base.
All I know is he kept saying role-playing game over and over again.
Don't make those people promises. You don't know what will happen.
Well, we have an interview, so you can
listen to the art director talk about it.
Did you hear the words black and gold?
The palette itself really is what we call the black and gold.
I did go sit in a private LittleBigPlanet 2 session with some Media Molecule guys, Mr. Alex Evans, the driving brain box behind that operation. It seems that guy is mad smart.
Does that look cool?
Yeah, it's weird. They didn't even show the story mode. All they showed was the creation stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they are so stoked about the stuff they're adding, and I mean, you've already seen that you can make RTSs and shooters and on and on and on.
Right.
But they started digging into a lot of that stuff. Like, all that stuff that you've seen that's not a platformer is being faked in some really crazy, like, ingenious ways.
Wow.
Like, he went into the creator mode from the RTS and from the shooter and showed how, like, the plane and the shooter, that, like, I mean, like the flat plane, you know, the flying over is actually sort of like a background. You've got all these triggers around it. Like, it's still like a platforming engine. People are just finding crazy ways to abstract it out and make other stuff.
Awesome.
You can do breadboards in that game, like circuit boards.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally pop up like a circuit, like a floating circuit board, and like wire all this stuff together to your objects to make it behave in some crazy ways.
Wow.
Like, you can pop one up that looks like a DualShock, and then just wire buttons on the DualShock to parts of like a vehicle, and like assign it and assign it. Yeah, yes. Cool. So there's absolute and like yeah. So they were saying like you could make a functional car in like 30 seconds now because like. He made the car, he popped up the thing, and wired the square button to the rear tire, and like made it the accelerate function.
They must have just sat down and messed with Gary's mod a whole bunch and said like, we're gonna make a better wire mod. We're gonna do wire mod for people that aren't crazy.
Seems like that's what they're doing, and they've actually hired several people from their community to like help make the story mode in the new game.
Awesome.
Yeah, they hired some construction worker from somewhere. He came in like with his PS3, I guess, and now he's making levels for the story mode. That stuff looks crazy.
Well, pretty action-packed day 2 for E3 2010 for us, but show's not over yet. We still got one more day to go, gents. So let's get back to it. Be sure to join us for.
Hey, what do you guys think of Mortal Kombat?
I love that game.
Nope.
Brad played it.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
I turned around, kicked, and I uppercutted on a jump in, and you bastards.
All respect to those who break their neck to keep their hopes in check. Cause oh, they sweat a brother majorly. And I don't know why your girl keeps paging me. She tells me that she needs me, cries when she leaves.